Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Pmukku. Today we are going to discuss about heat waves. What is a heat wave? How heat waves will form? Types of heat waves? And soon on. The introduction is an essential part of any writing, as it sets the tone and context for the following discussion. In the case of discussing heat waves, the introduction is particularly important because it defines what a heat wave is, explains why it is relevant, and establishes the scope of the discussion. First, the introduction defines a heat wave as a period of prolonged and abnormally hot weather, often accompanied by high humidity. This definition is important because it helps readers understand what is meant by the term heat wave. It also sets the stage for the discussion of the impacts of heat waves, which will be explored in more detail later in the outline. Next, the introduction highlights the importance of understanding and addressing the impacts of heat waves. One key reason for this is that heat waves can cause health, environmental, and economic problems. By establishing the potential impacts of heat waves, the introduction clarifies why taking them seriously and exploring ways to mitigate their effects is important. Finally, the introduction notes that heat waves are becoming more frequent and severe due to climate change. This links the discussion of heat waves to broader issues related to climate change, such as greenhouse gas emissions and global warming. By highlighting the role of climate change in exacerbating heat waves, the introduction emphasizes the need to address the root causes of these events in addition to their immediate impacts. The section on the causes of heat waves explains what leads to the occurrence of these events. There are a number of factors that contribute to the formation and intensity of heat waves, including weather patterns, climate change, and human activities. First, the outline notes that heat waves are caused by high-pressure systems and subtropical ridges. These weather patterns trap hot air and prevent it from dissipating, leading to prolonged periods of hot weather. This helps readers understand the physical mechanisms that drive the occurrence of heat waves. Next, the outline explains that climate change can intensify these weather patterns and contribute to the occurrence of more frequent and severe heat waves. Climate change is causing the Earth's average temperature to rise, which can exacerbate heat waves by making hot air masses even hotter and more persistent. This highlights the importance of addressing climate change as a means of mitigating the impact of heat waves. Finally, the outline notes that human activities can also contribute to the occurrence and severity of heat waves. Urbanization, deforestation, and the burning of fossil fuels all release heat-trapping greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which can increase the overall temperature of the planet and make heat waves more likely. This emphasizes the role that human actions play in shaping the frequency and severity of heat waves and underscores the need for concerted efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate the impacts of climate change. This section of the outline highlights the diverse impacts of heat waves on human health, the environment, and the economy. Heat waves can have both immediate and long-term consequences, affecting different sectors of society in various ways. First, the outline notes that heat waves can cause a range of health problems, including dehydration, heat stroke, and respiratory issues. These effects are particularly pronounced among vulnerable populations such as the elderly, young children, and those with pre-existing health conditions. This underscores the importance of taking steps to protect public health during heat waves, such as providing access to cooling centers and encouraging individuals to stay hydrated and avoid strenuous outdoor activity. Second, the outline explains that heat waves can also have environmental impacts. They can lead to wildfires, droughts, and reduced crop yields, damaging ecosystems and agriculture. These effects can be particularly devastating in areas that are already vulnerable to climate change, exacerbating existing environmental challenges. Finally, the outline notes that heat waves can strain energy infrastructure and cause economic damage. The increased demand for energy to cool homes and buildings during heat waves can put pressure on the energy grid and cause power outages, while infrastructure such as roads and bridges may be damaged by extreme heat. These economic impacts can be felt both in the short and long term, highlighting the need for proactive planning and investment to prepare for the impacts of heat waves on infrastructure and the economy. This section of the outline focuses on the importance of heat wave preparedness and response. As heat waves become more frequent and severe, it is crucial to have plans and systems in place to help people stay safe and mitigate the impacts of extreme heat. First, the outline notes that early warning systems can be put in place to provide advance notice of heat waves. This can help people prepare and take necessary precautions to stay safe. Public education campaigns can also be launched to inform people of the risks of heat waves and provide guidance on how to stay cool and hydrated. Second, the outline explains that emergency response plans can be created to ensure that people have access to relief from the heat. This can include establishing cooling centers and shelters where people can go to escape the heat and access necessary resources. These efforts can be particularly important for vulnerable populations, such as the elderly, homeless, and those without air conditioning. Finally, the outline notes that community outreach efforts can be targeted towards vulnerable populations to ensure that they have access to resources and support during heat waves. This can involve working with community organizations and local government agencies to identify and assist those who may be most at risk. Overall, this section highlights the importance of taking proactive measures to prepare for and respond to heat waves. By implementing early warning systems, emergency response plans, and community outreach efforts, we can help ensure that people stay safe and minimize the impacts of extreme heat. This section focuses on mitigation strategies that can help reduce the occurrence and impact of heat waves. Mitigation strategies are important because they aim to address the root causes of heat waves and reduce their severity. The outline notes that one important strategy for mitigating heat waves is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This can be achieved by increasing the use of renewable energy sources and implementing energy efficiency measures, which can help to reduce the amount of heat-trapping gases in the atmosphere. Another important strategy is urban planning and design. Cities are often significantly hotter than surrounding rural areas, a phenomenon known as the urban heat island effect. Incorporating green infrastructure such as trees, green roofs, and parks can help to mitigate the effects of the urban heat island effect by providing shade and cooling. Other measures that can be taken include increasing the use of reflective surfaces and promoting sustainable transportation options. Overall, this section highlights the importance of taking a holistic approach to mitigating the impacts of heat waves. By addressing the root causes of heat waves and implementing strategies to reduce their severity, we can help to protect public health, the environment, and the economy from the impacts of extreme heat. This final section of the outline provides a summary of the main points discussed in the previous sections and emphasizes the importance of addressing heat waves. The outline notes that heat waves can have significant impacts on public health, the environment, and the economy, and that it is important to understand the causes and effects of heat waves in order to take effective action. The section goes on to highlight the importance of preparedness, response, and mitigation strategies for addressing heat waves. By implementing early warning systems, emergency response plans, and community outreach efforts, we can help to reduce the negative impacts of heat waves and protect vulnerable populations. Finally, the section emphasizes the need to address the root causes of heat waves, including climate change and greenhouse gas emissions. By taking steps to reduce emissions and build more resilient communities, we can work towards creating a more sustainable and equitable future. Overall, this section provides a strong conclusion to the outline by summarizing the key points and emphasizing the importance of taking action to address heat waves. That's it for the day. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe, share, like and comment.